Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints.
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man, the great thinker himself, Frank. How are you today?
I am known as the great thinker, but I used to be called the great drinker.
Yeah, well, that's because we're in our 30s now, so there is no more great drinking
yes.
for you.
Yeah, that's over.
Yeah, no. Your liver, your stomach, your head, and your heart say no.
Huh.
Yeah. I will
Ain't
not
that the
be
truth?
I will not be doing that anymore. Thank you so much. But anyway, Frank, we're here to have barely one drink and talk about things. How are you today?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you doing?
I am also doing well, Frank. It's great to see you this lovely October day, probably cold out. Maybe it's not. Who's to say? I'm inside. But either way, we both have a drink. What are you drinking?
I am drinking one of my favorites. I am drinking
Johnny
a
Walker
good old
Black.
Johnny Walker Black Label.
All right, serious question. What is the difference between all of the labels? Do you know that?
Oh, I used to know this offhand. I believe it's blue or maybe green is the top, and red label is the bottom, and black is somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm pretty sure blue's the top.
Yeah, blue is the top, but I think there might be a green that's like ultra rare, reserve
I've
type of
almost
thing.
never seen a green, so I'm going to say that's true.
It might. I'm not using my one lookup for that.
Nope,
but
me either.
That is, if I remember correctly, that is the blue is definitely like the big one, but I think green might be even harder to find than that. But it's red, black, and then blue.
Now here's the next question that I have for you. When you said the top, did you automatically think of the Irving Berlin song "You're the Top"?
You're the top. You're the Coliseum. You're the top. You're the Louvre Museum.
I did. That's where my mind went. I'm glad yours did too. That's why we're friends. Frank, I am drinking a Shipyard Pumpkin Ale because it is October.
Yeah. I just had one of those with the sugar rim a couple weeks ago. And
yes,
so
that's what made me
good.
get one too. Yes, I went out with.
How you have it?
I went out for a after work thingy, and the bartender was like, "Do you want the rim?" I'm like, "What am I 12?
Obviously.
Of course I want the sugar, obviously." Oh man, it's good stuff. You look forward to it every year. It's like the treat of October.
Yes.
Anyway, Frank,
yes, it is.
A treat, as always, to play Thinking and Drinking with you today,
yes.
in which we have these cards from the game of self-discovery or self-destruction, depending on how we answer the question. You go, I go, you go, I go, so on and so forth. We both answer the question. I will allow you first question of this round as we think and drink stuff.
Cool. Okay. Name a 1980s icon?
David Bowie.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Michael Jackson came to mind for me.
Yeah, that's also a good 80s icon.
Then
Billy
again,
Joel.
both of them span many decades, but
Yeah. Billy Joel is also a good one.
Yeah.
I Heart New York. I Love New York. Is that an 80s icon? Does that count? Yeah.
That might even go back further in the 80s.
Oh,
but,
really?
But it definitely was big in the 80s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because New York was out of its financial troubles by then.
Oh, is that part of where that came from?
Yeah, that was a campaign to revive New York tourism.
But isn't it wild how well it worked? It's so simple. It's just I, a heart, and why. And they were everywhere.
It is iconic in the truest sense. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sticking with David Bowie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, David Bowie's good. That's good.
Yeah. The Starman himself. All right.
Oh.
If the world was ending in a month, how would you spend your time? That would depend if my employer makes me come to work or not.
If the world's ending in a month, screw my employer. What am I going to need? What am I going to need income for?
Going and getting toilet paper. I don't know.
I guess. If I only had a month left, I mean, I think of that similarly as I think of, if you knew you only had a month left to live, what would you do? Right. Like, I guess to be more chaos if it's like the world is ending because people are probably hoarding food and water and stuff. But maybe there's rioting or something. But I think I would probably try to get somewhere quiet and contemplative with my family and try to just sort of be at peace and enjoy each other's company and, pray. And that's what I would probably
right.
do.
Because like, what else you could, if you know it's ending, like what, like, oh, well, I'm finally going to smash and grab some stuff from BJ's. Like
some people would though,
but why? I don't know. I just don't think like that. I don't know.
I don't either.
Now I can get the 55-inch screen TV I've always wanted.
I guess.
Yeah, there'll be no one to man any of the stations that keep things going because everyone else will be deciding to spend time with their family, but I'll at least have TV. Whatever. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
What's your question? What's your next question?
What is the most embarrassing thing that happened to you this week?
This week?
This week.
Oh, heavens. Actually, I don't know if anything really embarrassing has happened to me this week. It's early in the week, Frank. Sunday, Monday, today's Tuesday. If just
Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, what a week, huh? What is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me? This is not. I guess I'm having a good week if this is the most embarrassing thing.
Yeah, it's all relative, right? If it's the most embarrassing thing, then go ahead.
So I had a presentation, like a slide presentation on the board, and the first letter wasn't bold, but the rest of like the first few words were. So the S wasn't, but the other one was.
Great week.
Right? Like that's like barely. Huge embarrassment. I guess not huge embarrassments do register, but like I spend so much of my job in front of people.
Sure.
That like embarrassment doesn't necessarily always register for me because like I'm always saying something stupid, like, So, okay, actually, no, this is actually, I actually got it. This is embarrassing. So I have a clinical student this year. She works in the building. She's a teacher in a different department, but she's getting her master's degree in education with an English bent. So we had to meet with her master's advisor to go over things. But she and I, the teacher and I, had misinterpreted the directions, and we were like fired up. We had this email, like we had to go, like we have to change the course outline, and like this is going to work. She's a full-time teacher, blah blah blah. So we get on Zoom today, and she was like, "No, you don't have to take 2 more classes. You just have to go in 4 times in the semester and teach once."
Oh.
So embarrassing. Actually, that was actually really embarrassing. At least I didn't have the original write-up, so I'm only working on what somebody else told me. But still, a little embarrassing. We're like, we were all fired up for literally no reason. Yeah, okay, here we go. So that's the most embarrassing thing to happen to me this week.
That's funny.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm also struggling with it because yes, it is early in the week. I will. I can't think of something from this week, but last week, we used this software at my job. It's called Roam, ROAM, and it's like a virtual office. There's like a map.
I've heard of this software.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know somebody else that uses it.
Okay, yeah. So for those who haven't, you have a map of a virtual office, and like everyone has on this map has a little like their own little office, and there's a bunch of conference rooms. And when you're logged in, you're sitting in your quote unquote office. And if somebody wants to come and chat with you, they can see, oh, Frank's sitting in his office. Let me knock on his door and chat. Or you can go into a meeting room and say, oh, I see that, Frank and Tim and Mary are all in this conference room. Let me pop in and I can join this meeting and I have something to add or whatever. Again, I guess if this is the most embarrassing thing, it's not that bad, but like I was totally in the wrong room because it's kind of confusing about you. It was very much like walking into the wrong conference room in real life, like walking into the wrong meeting and not realizing it for.
It is kind of awkward. Like your face populates in the video call and you're like, hello, everyone. I'm not supposed to be in a meeting with.
Yeah. And it was like, and it was people that I do work with a lot. So they weren't surprised to see me, but I was like, oh, no, I'm not supposed to be here. No, I'm going to a different, sorry. So like I had to explain, now I'm leaving. And the reason is because I'm wrong. I'm not supposed to be here.
That is kind of embarrassing. That's funny. I got to check out video of Rome software because I know somebody else that has to use it. And like, it's just fascinating to me that that's where we've come. Like, you don't have an office space, so you're going to have a digital office space. Like, it just feels so extra.
There is something interesting about it. Like, it is the idea of like, often you want to just, when we used to be in person, like I would want to pop by someone's desk and ask them a quick question. Mm-hmm. And that's a little, on Zoom or Slack, it's like, let me chat you and be like, hey, do you have a second to talk? I have a quick question, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like you get on Zoom and you ask the question, blah, blah, blah. Like this, it's just like you see that they're available because they're sitting in their office. You see that they're, so it's the same metaphor, right? It's like hallway conversation. Like when you bump into somebody on the way to the bathroom and you have a quick conversation, like
sure,
those kinds of things you end up doing because of the sort of metaphor of an office in this thing. So that's interesting, but it is extra and it ends up being it's an interesting concept, but it's a little weird in execution.
It'll get better.
Yes.
Next update, it'll get better. If you could meet anyone, living or dead, who would it be? This is tough, right? Because
it's always a hard one.
Like there's a lot of people I want to meet.
I know. I feel like you need to do like the you're familiar with Desert Island Discs?
No, I am not.
It's a BBC radio show where they interview a celebrity and they ask them, if you could bring, I think it's 10 records with you on a desert island. What would they be? It's like 10 books or records, and everybody, it's aside from the complete works of Shakespeare or the Bible, because it's like everybody, ends up saying one of those. So pretend that you already got that. Okay. What other books would you bring? Right. And that's kind of how I feel about this. It's like, all right, so like take Jesus and Abraham Lincoln off the table, right? Because everybody wants to talk to them.
Exactly.
Like take the obvious ones out, and then who's left? And it's like,
well, I'm not fun because I'm always like, well, is there a language barrier?
I'm not going to worry about that because if they're back from the dead, then they can talk. They can talk to me.
That's a good point. Didn't think about that. Yeah, yeah. If they can come back from the dead, they can probably speak English. Right?
Well, yeah, like we'll just overlook that too. This is an answer that probably changes from moment to moment, but I'm going to say Benjamin Franklin.
What a good one!
A fascinating individual. Not always a good one, but a fascinating one at all times. And I have been fascinated by his life story since I was young. So I would love to talk to him.
That's a really good one. Right now, just on top of my head, I'm going to say Jim Henson.
Ooh, what brings that to mind?
Because I have a biography of him. And this was my train of thought. Ben Franklin. That's interesting. Maybe John Adams. Ooh, who else do I have a biography of? Jim Henson, I'll say that.
That's good.
Yeah, because Jim Henson was a nice guy, like documented, just a lovely human. And truth, like meeting people who are famous or you don't know or anything, like there's always the chance that it's just gonna kind of ruin that person a little bit, right?
Sure.
Don't meet your heroes. But Jim Henson, by all accounts, was just lovely, but to everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a safe one, and also I could just be like, "Thanks, man." You made the world a little bit better.
That's right.
Who freaking doesn't like the Muppets or Sesame Street or just like you kind of changed children's entertainment, and I appreciate that as a parent. So thank you, Jim Henson.
Yeah. Gosh, I feel that way about Mr. Rogers too. I have such
that's a good one too. But
yeah,
I feel like that one I wouldn't know how to like talk to him. Like that's almost like like you just like I just want to hug you, but I don't know. I want to say Jim Henson. That's mine. Your question.
Okay. If your heritage was defined by your favorite food, what would it be?
Actually, don't know. So, Frank, this is a good question. Let's do it this way. What is my favorite food, Frank?
Cup of chowder.
Yes, that is correct. So,
so your heritage would be
clams.
New Bedford.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I actually don't know who invented clam chowder, so I can't answer that question.
It would just be vaguely New England.
So it's me. I'm just the same.
It's just you. Yeah. It would be, yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Me. Yeah. It's really hard.
Yeah.
So what's yours?
I'm going to go with my favorite food being a good steak.
Yep. Okay. I had beef in my head. I just wasn't sure how it was prepared.
You know, the burgers or pizza sort of come to mind, but like, I think a good steak is sort of like is what I would put down as like my favorite. So,
who's the inventor of cooking beef?
I don't, that some caveman named Ugg probably,
right?
But Argentina is known for their steak, so my mom was born there.
There you
so
go.
I'll go with that.
That's good. I like that. That's a hard question.
Yeah, it's
I just love that you knew that. Oh, my favorite food is that. Just great. I mean, obviously, I have other ones, but anytime we go out,
that's what came to mind. I mean, am I right? Like, would you say that's your favorite food?
The first thing that came to my mind was macaroni and cheese because I'm 4, apparently.
Yeah, sure.
But like, it's just hard.
Even better if they're dino shaped.
Right, exactly. It's just hard to ignore macaroni and cheese. But if I go out and there's chowder on the menu, I will get the chowder, a cup of chowder. But I will not always get I will not default to macaroni and cheese. Like, I like many other things, including vegetables. So, like, chowder is definitely, I think, clam chowder.
Just the number of times we've gone out to eat, and the first thing, like, you don't even know what you want to drink yet, but you're like, cup of chowder?
Cup of chowder, yep. What do you want to drink? I don't know yet. Come back. Yeah, but I definitely will get the chowder. I will drink the chowder. It's soup.
It comes in a cup. Isn't that why you bring it to me in a cup?
Right. It's just got bits in it.
I didn't say bowl of chowder, did I?
Yeah, right. I'm not. Like, I got to save my appetite for the rest of the food. Oh, man. That's good. Okay. If aliens landed here right now, which player would you send to greet them? We're going to do this on a 1, 2, 3, okay? And just say the name. Like, you say either Frank or Tim, even if you're referring to yourself, okay?
Okay.
We'll do this as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, Tim.
Tim.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew it was me.
Yeah, it was always going to be.
Yeah. Frank doesn't want to meet new people, even if they're aliens. Like, it's going to be me. Wow, what a tremendous and unique opportunity. You go.
I'll watch.
Yep. Yeah, it's okay. Well, if I get incinerated, you have to raise my daughter. That's
here. You taste this first.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's fine. I'll go for it. Then me, I'm so like, yeah, whatever. I'll do it.
Yeah, that's why. Because you're like, yeah,
whatever.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Of course I'll meet the aliens. Of course I'll meet the aliens. Why not? Just what the rest of my life is like. Yeah. That's good.
Okay. Oh man. Oh, okay. I'm coming across a patch of questions that I know we've asked each other before. Okay. Here's one. If you were in a pageant, what would you showcase as your talent?
Ooh. Mouth trumpet. Like, how serious is the pageant? Like,
I don't know. I took it as like, Mr. New Bedford.
Universe,
I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay. So, because like if it was not serious, I'd be like mouth trumpet. Be like, I can't do it because I'm smiling. I I can't do it because now I am on the stage and I'm facing stage
The
fright,
judges.
Frank. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, can't do it with the stage fright, but
No, that was quite good. That was quite good.
I wanted to do La Vie en Rose, but I couldn't get it done. But that's okay. What would you if it was like a real talent? I'd probably teach like a 5-minute lesson because that's my real talent. I could play the piano or could sing or whatever.
I thought you were going to say play the piano. That's interesting.
No,
yeah.
I honestly would engage you in 5 minutes or less. That I would retell like. So actually I had a class today asking, could you retell us more stories in short form? Like, because like when I'm trying to make a point about something, I'll like retell The Wizard of Oz in a really short amount of time to like make my point about this. And they're like, we love that. Could you do more of that? So I'd probably do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good like party trick sort of, like give me a story and I'll tell it to you in 3 minutes or less, you know, like and tell you what it means. Should we do each other's party tricks on the show? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. What's yours?
Well, mine is not one we can do. But mine would be that thing we talked about a couple weeks ago of I'll name any Beatles song in under a second.
That's pretty guessy. That's good. We could probably do it right now, but I could just hold it up to the microphone. Yeah. I think you could guess it before my finger could hit the pause button. I think that's and for some of those songs it might be true. Yes, that's good. One day, Frank, we're gonna have a talent show. That's how we're gonna do that. It's an episode one day. Yeah,
I like that.
I'll do mine and you do yours. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. And then no one will decide because it's just the two of us on here. So we're both the winners.
Everybody wins.
That was your question, right?
Yeah, it was mine.
Yeah. Who would you most want to tell off right now? I have one. I have the first one that came to my head. People who don't use their blinkers. I want to tell them all.
Oh, sure.
In general, use your blinkers. What is the matter with you, you unsafe driving hacks? Anyway.
Yep.
That's mine.
Yes. That drives me. That is a pet peeve of mine as well. I have a more specific answer, and that is my doctor.
Oh.
He is pissing me off right now.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That's a good one.
He is so hard to get a hold of.
Oh.
And it took me a month to get a prescription filled. I have diabetes. I was trying to get my insulin refilled. It took me a month of trying to get a hold of him before I could get my insulin prescription refilled. Good thing I have extra in my fridge, so like I didn't run out, but I could have in that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really annoying. And then I got that was months ago. He like apologized. We moved past it. This past week, I got some test results. I wanted to get on the phone with him to talk about it. He couldn't talk, so I talked to a nurse, and she couldn't answer my question. She said, "Oh, you're really going to talk to the doctor about that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know. That's kind of why I called in the first place. You have him call me? Sure." And then the nurse emails me with like, "Oh, I talked to him, and these were the answers to your questions." But they weren't really the complete answers to my questions because all I need is 5 minutes on the phone with him. And I can't get 5 minutes on the phone with him for whatever reason. He keeps like dodging.
Because insurance won't pay for it, Frank. That's why.
That's not even the problem. It's just he's just like I don't know how many times I've talked to like you get test results and they get on the phone with you to ask.
Right, it's so normal,
so standard. But so I kind of was like, can I just talk to you for five minutes? And then I get a call from his receptionist like, hey, we're gonna make a telehealth appointment for you so you can ask all your questions. I'm like, we don't need a whole appointment. Fine, sure.
Yep.
Anyway,
if that's what gets you, sure, whatever. I'll waste more of your time.
Yeah, it's a waste of his time, absolutely. But fine, okay. I only have 5 minutes of questions, so that's fine. So yeah, my doctor right now is somebody I
that makes sense.
Would tell off.
Yeah,
and probably will on Monday when I have that telehealth appointment.
Okay, good. Yeah, good luck with that. What player or which player? Correct grammar. Which player would you bet on in a fight club? Let's do this again.
Oh wait, I don't know. I got.
I'm gonna do it again. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, Frank.
Nobody.
Oh. I was being nice. I think you could disarm whoever was there in front of you. Be like, listen.
I've seen enough movies to know what I'm doing. You know, I don't want to brag, but I have seen over 5 action movies.
Yeah. I don't want to brag, but I did see the first 17 minutes of John Wick. So I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing.
I'm not new at this, okay?
Son, I was in The Matrix. Not the movie.
The ride.
Yeah, the ride, exactly. I know what it's like to hang upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Stuck on a roller coaster. Do you really want to do this with me?
Come on.
You know, we're getting old enough
aside,
where
son.
like, obviously the person we're fighting is younger than us. So we're like,
Oh,
son.
it's a given, yeah.
All right, your question.
How many minutes before you consider yourself late?
4 minutes.
Yeah. Like at 5 minutes, you're late.
At 5, right? Yeah, I can get a 4-minute window. If I'm supposed to be there at 7, if I'm there at 7:04, I'm okay. If I'm there at 7:05, I'm late.
I'm late. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. I think a lot of people would say 15 or something. But I think 5 is sort of 5 is not offensively late, but it is like, oh, sorry, I'm late. Right.
15 is I have a completely disregard for timetables.
Well, yeah, or they better have a good excuse. I would say the context matters though, right? Because if you're meeting in person in you're meeting someone for coffee or whatever, that's one thing, or a work meeting or whatever. But if it's like a Zoom call, then it's 2 minutes.
Yes, I agree.
Right, because
I'm not driving anywhere.
Right, exactly.
So what were you doing?
Right.
Sorry. Oh, I mean, my typical is Zoom was updating because you have to build in.
Zoom
a
was
minute
updating,
for Zoom
which
to update.
actually happened to me today.
It happened while I was trying to get on with you right now. Yeah.
That happened to me today. So I was a minute late to something.
Yeah.
But there is also the oh, sorry, my previous meeting ran over because I'm so often in back-to-back meetings that it's oh, sorry, the last one ran long and here I am. Yeah.
That's good.
So
I think
okay, yeah. So it depends on the context, but yeah, I think 5 is generally a good rule of thumb.
Okay. Mine?
Yours?
Mine. Who at the table, our table right now, presumably, is the best dancer? I think we should 1, 2, 3 this.
Best dancer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Frank.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Frank is the good dancer. I'm not a good dancer.
I would not say good.
Frank is a better dancer than me.
That might be true.
Frank can feel the beat better than I can. Therefore, Frank is a better dancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a professional musician, so you
that doesn't mean I can feel
rhythm.
the beat though. So.
Make it till you make it. Am I right?
Oh gosh, isn't it just? Yeah. What is that? 4-4? Really?
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Surprising. Okay.
I was getting more of a
13-8 out of this, but okay. Yeah. Oh, you got it.
All right. Whatever you say.
Musician jokes, baby. All right.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Your go.
Wait. Is it? Didn't I just?
No, that was me. It was the best dancer.
Oh yeah, best dancer was you.
Yeah.
Okay. What inanimate object do you wish you could plant as a seed and have it grow?
Oh my goodness. What?
Yeah, that's a wild one.
Money?
Yeah.
That's
we all wish it could grow on trees.
Right. It just feels like the logical, needed answer. If I had a fun answer, like it was, I was like in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and anything just grew. This is gonna be dumb, but can it be like socks, but different socks? So I'm missing. No. So it's like, oh no, I'm missing another sock. Go to the tree, find the pair.
Such a dad thing. We're so old when we're I wish I don't have to go find my sock. Oh, where are my slippers?
Yeah.
A good bathrobe. I wish this
heating
a good LL Bean bathrobe would grow on bushes.
Good heating pack could grow on bushes. Batteries. Apple products.
Hot water bottle.
Yeah. I've never had a hot water bottle. That's my
Really?
Nope, never.
I have one that I never use, and that's also how I grew up, having one that we never used. So it's just sort of an emotional support water bottle that's just in the closet.
It's there, like the Boo Boo turtle in my freezer.
There you go.
Yeah. Anytime my daughter like gets a scrape or anything out, or my wife is like, "Do you want the Boo Boo turtle?" She's like, "No!" And I'm like, "It's been 2 years. She definitely doesn't want the Boo Boo turtle.
Yeah,
we're past this point now. One day though, maybe she will. Yeah,
keep trying.
We could hold out.
Yeah.
What about you?
If I could plant any inanimate object and grow it, lately, I have gotten into collecting cassettes and CDs again.
I was thinking about collecting cassettes. That's so wild. I miss the clacking.
Yeah, I miss the tactile, experience. So I bought a stereo on Facebook Marketplace
Cool.
that has a CD player, a radio, and a cassette player.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a turntable, so I can play vinyl. So I've got, sort of the big three formats of the last century, cassette, CDs, and vinyl. And I've started picking up, cassettes are so cheap. They're so cheap. They're like, classic albums for like $1 or 95 cents or something on like eBay and all kinds of places, or thrift stores. And so I've been like, as I see them in places, I'll pick up some. I bought a few on eBay to sort of get myself started. And now I have been going to my local music shop or going to places at the mall that sell like old collectibles and stuff, and just sort of like, oh, cool. And I went to a thrift store a few weeks ago and just.
How do you find the sound quality?
I mean, it's not as good as digital, but it's kind of like when you're putting on a record, you're doing it for the
experience.
Sound.
Is
there some hiss or crackle or whatever? Yeah, but there's also there is a difference in the sound, right? And the same goes for cassette. I think a lot of the albums that were released on during the cassette era have a sound that really lend themselves well. Like I have the U2 album Joshua Tree. It sounds phenomenal. It sounds great. Like it doesn't sound as clear or crystal clear as it does on CD or digital files, but it sounds really good on cassette because it's it was made for that format, to be heard through those imperfections,
Yep. Oh, that's cool. I love that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I don't know if I want to do that, but
I also have an iPod hooked up to it.
Nice. Classic turntable.
Mm-hmm.
Dial. What's it called? Yeah. I'm starting to lose my thread here.
All
right.
Oh, click wheel.
Click wheel. Thank you. All right. One last question.
Last question.
Person. Okay. This is a boring last question. What mythological creature do you wish existed?
I always thought the Minotaur was cool.
Minotaur is cool. I don't know if I want it in the real world, but
I don't know if I want to be chased by it, but I would look at it in the zoo, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, it was sentient, so I don't know how nice that would be. But
we have octopuses in the zoo.
Yeah, it's not nice either. Yeah. Minotaur is cool though. Wouldn't mind seeing one of those in real life. I'm gonna say this is tough. I said it was this is gonna be dumb, but maybe trolls.
Ooh.
Just add some spice to your hike, crossing some bridges, and up now I
Okay.
it's the trolls there. Not deadly trolls, but ones that you can easily trick with a simple question.
Sure.
Yeah, or little gnomes. No, that's what I want. I want gnomes instead of the ones with the little long beards where you can't see their eyes, but they but I want them for real. I want gnomes.
Little Santa Clauses who live on your lawn.
Yeah, right. That just take care of your lawn, but also are fun. Yeah, I want some gnomes. Yeah. All right. Your last question.
What's the best hangover breakfast?
Oh, good question. Depends on the severity of your hangover. I would say
that's true.
A glass of water.
Mm-hmm.
Some Pedialyte.
Hopefully that's the water's happening before. But yeah, sure. Before breakfast.
I'm gonna say toast, butter. Maybe an egg sandwich.
Yeah.
An egg sandwich is good because, like, you need something to soak up whatever's happening in your stomach. So that's what I'm going to say.
Anything
brown rice.
The for me, non-negotiable. It's got to be some bacon and eggs involved.
Really?
Got to be some bacon and egg. I have never not felt better after having on a morning like that after bacon and eggs.
Double negative. That's tricky. Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah,
but no, it works. I swear to God, it works every time. It has since I was old enough to drink. A good, like, whether it's in a sandwich form or not, doesn't really matter. But a good greasy diner breakfast, for example, perfect.
Yeah, I miss a good diner breakfast. I haven't been to a diner in a long time. Oh, man, that's a great place to end on, Frank, because now I'm hungry. So,
all right,
Frank, where can the people find us?
Yeah, you go get a snack. I'll tell the people they can find us at beerwithgeeks.com. You can find us anywhere you find your podcasts. Please rate and review us there. Subscribe to us there so you get every episode. Email us at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com. And do check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio. And you can support us financially as well and help us to keep paying for the bacon and eggs.
Excellent, Frank. It was good to talk to you. As always, go enjoy your hangover breakfast, and I will go enjoy mine, even though it is nighttime and neither of us are hungover. But I'm just going to go enjoy some toast anyway. So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.